Good morning, friends. It's Monday. Welcome to Monday. I think today's the 7th, but I don't really know at the moment. I'm in the kitchen. And it is 9:23 a.m. I have been a busy bee doing some journaling and planning and getting this weekend's video up. And by this weekend, I mean Saturday. I didn't actually vlog yesterday because we weren't doing anything vlog worthy and I was just kind of having a day with my husband. I did some stuff at church. He went to the gym. I did some cleaning because this place tends to get out of control on the weekends and I just had enough. So I'm like, I'm cleaning while you're gone. And we watched some TV, and it was a good time, but nothing worth vlogging. I didn't have anything profound to say either. So there will likely be unless something interesting is happening, at least one day of the weekend that I don't vlog just because. And next weekend, I'm actually going to a conference in Iowa. I know, exciting, right? Of all places, Iowa. But I'll tell you more about that later. I thought I would share with you what I'm doing for breakfast, and that is a smoothie. And I'm super excited about it because I was actually listening to a podcast, the Skinny Confidential Him and Her podcast. I've been looking for new podcasts to listen to. And they had a couple of different health people on, and this one woman was talking about smoothies and, you know, the stuff you should eat to inhibit your hunger receptors and blah, 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 blah. Long story short, she was talking a lot about smoothies and how that's what she has in the morning, and she has them consist of proteins, proteins, greens, fats, and something else that I can't remember, and very little fruit. And it's a powerhouse of a smoothie. And so what I actually did was I have just a little bit. I have I think I counted 5 little frozen strawberries in here, maybe 10 little frozen blueberries, and I actually only used half of one of the frozen acai packets, which is great because that'll be just enough acai to give it like the acai bowl essence, but it'll actually double the amount of acai bowl type things I get to use and make because it comes with 4 packets, but if I only start using half and that's enough, great, happy day. So I have that much fruit. It's probably maybe a cup of fruit total. And I'm team no count blended fruit, so 0 smart points for that. I have 1 cup of the Trader Joe's unsweetened vanilla almond milk for 1 smart point. I have 1 serving of chocolate Quest protein powder in here for 1 smart point. That's 2. And then for my fat, I actually decided to use, I'm still trying to use up these hemp hearts. And I scanned them and all that jazz. And the whole package, which is 2 ounces, these are the stats. I used half an ounce, which is 2 smart points. It has a good kick of fat in it because I didn't want to use peanut butter or anything because that's just so much points. It's got some good protein, got some fiber. So we're going to blend all this up and see how it turns out. Oh, there's a half a banana in here too. I forgot. Somebody got up this morning when I did, went to the bathroom, and then decided to go back to bed. Didn't you? Yes. And I feel a little bit guilty because I'm about to walk out the door. Oh, are you going to come out now? You going to come out now? What you doing in there? Have you decided you're not ready for Monday yet? You sad that Daddy's gone? Gracie, what are you doing? Why are you hanging out in the cage? Goofball. She's high energy all the time, and then she's just lazy. Where's the happy medium, puppy? Where's the happy medium? We made an impromptu trip to Grandpa and Marilyn's house. Gang's all here. We got my little niece. My dogs are on here somewhere. Where'd she go? Tina's here. Dee's here. We're all here.
Who was untying your shoes? Oh, that was Onyx, wasn't it?
The dog unties shoes too. There's Gracie.
These are toddler ones.
Yeah.
Those are the.
Here's the lunch spread.
Those are the grabbers. Those are the.
Ham sandwiches.
What you looking for?
Just like I expected.
Dry my hair.
Oh.
Salad looks good. What kind of salad is this?
Under the sink. I mean, not
It's a chopped salad.
The cabinet under the sink.
Yum.
Yeah.
Yum. Good evening, my friends. It is 8:15, and I will admit it feels like it's so much later. I am so tired. I didn't think I did that much today, but I did enough. I got my step goal. I went to the chiropractor. I went to the gym. I did my 28-day challenge. And the impromptu thing that happened today, as you guys saw, I ended up at my grandfather and Marilyn's house. Marilyn is my grandfather's girlfriend. Occasionally I call her grandma. I go, oh, we went to grandma and grandpa's house today. But we went over there because Deanna, my youngest sister, with the wedding dress, had to drop off her wedding dress. And Christina, my middle sister, brought Alice, the baby, along to visit because they like to see their great-granddaughter. And my grandfather calls me yesterday and says, so your sisters are coming over tomorrow and you are more than welcome to come too. And I haven't seen them, I feel like, in like a month. I don't know if that's accurate, but that's what it feels like. They're traveling so much. It's insane. Like, my grandfather's in his mid-80s and he is so social and does so much traveling. He just went to like Switzerland and Italy not too long ago. Like, the man has got it going on. And so I'm like, I haven't seen my grandfather in what feels like forever. And he used to live like 5 minutes away from us. Like, where I live now, he would live even less than 5 minutes with no trains. Like, we've all lived in the same area, but he moved about half hour, 40 minutes away. So I don't see him nearly as often. Anyway, so I got home from the gym and my sisters were on their way over. And Christina's like, well, why don't you just come? I was like, I got a chiropractor appointment. And she's like, well, you can take my car to the chiropractor because, oddly, the office I wanted to go to was closer to my grandfather's house than it is to my house by a couple miles. So I was like, you know what? That sounds good. So I quick jumped in the shower, threw on some clothes, gathered Gracie's stuff up, and we spent the afternoon there. And I ran away from my chiropractor appointment and came back. And we had a good time. It was great. We had lunch, and it was thoroughly enjoyable. Lunch is always enjoyable when it's over there. That was a long-winded story, but that's what my day was. That's literally what my day was. And now I'm home, and I'm watching The Bachelorette finale, and which is happening right now. I was like, the frame's not moving. I didn't have it paused or anything. It's happening. You can tell that I'm not too invested in it because it's playing right now, and I have it sitting on mute so I can talk to you guys. But I happened to see a tweet about it, and I was like, oh, that's right, it's on. I'll just turn it on and watch it now so I don't have to watch it later. Because it's a stupid 3-hour finale. Why do we need 3 hours to do this? Why? So as I'm doing other things around the house, I have this on in the background. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys tonight. I have a topic for tonight, and I've had this topic for a while, and I just keep forgetting to bring it up because either you guys bring it up or something else happens. But I want to talk about trigger foods and your experience with trigger foods. Now, a trigger food is something that once you have it, it triggers a behavior. And when we're talking trigger foods, typically it triggers a binge-like behavior. So, for example, I have quite a few trigger foods actually, but primarily with sweets. Obviously, if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know this to be true. Sweets is like my weakness, and I can't even pinpoint one because I've had this experience. I'm sitting here racking my brain. I've had this experience with a lot of different kinds of sweets. Basically, I'm trying to decide what the best course of action is here because it used to be that I'm trying to remember because now like my first time around was long ago enough and so much has happened in my life that I'm trying to remember what my weight loss experience was like when I was living at home with my parents and my sisters because that's when I was successful, and I'm trying to figure out how the heck I did it in that house with 4 other people who were at the time not on Weight Watchers. Now 2 of them are on Weight Watchers and another one is trying to lose weight. The only one not worried about his weight is my father. I was like, well, that would have been real easy for me then. So I don't know how I did it back then. And I'm trying to remember what my trigger food situation was. Maybe it's because I always had somebody around to judge me if I was eating off plan. I really don't know what it was. I don't know. But I'm trying to remember if I lived under the philosophy of have a couple of your favorite sweets and treats, whatever your treat may be. It doesn't have to be sweet. For me, it's usually sweet. in the house, like the points friendly versions, so you can have them in moderation. But now I find my personality leans more towards if I have it and I have it in mass proportions, like a bunch of servings of something, I will sit there and eat far more than I ever need to. Ever. And this happens frequently, regularly, if I bring the stuff into the house. I just don't understand. So I'm starting to think that the answer is I have to keep all of my triggers, or most of my triggers anyway. If there's healthier triggers, like I could also sit and binge eat 5 cups of berries. That means I'm not removing berries from my house because I can do that. Because I love me some berries and that's a good option to have. But like things like multiple servings of something. Like I need to start going out and coming home with 1 serving of something. If I go and get, like, for example, the Portillo's lemon cake that's currently in my freezer, once that's gone, I cannot go get another one. I need to do single servings only. That way, if I decide I'm going to eat the whole serving, it's 1 and done. No other option, you know? Because I can sit there, I get like a bag of marshmallows or something. I get, not like the Jet Puff or whatever they are, but like the gourmet marshmallows from this local marshmallow company that I really, really love, and I've been backing them on Kickstarter. I got my rewards from them, and I will sit there and I will eat 4, 5, 6 marshmallows, and I'm not talking like stupid mini marshmallows. I'm talking like regular big marshmallows, and the package will be gone so quickly, and it should be like at least 4 or 5 servings, and I'm thinking I just need to leave it out of the house. You know? Which I hate, because I also want to be the person that has the option to have something sweet. Like, what if I end my day and I have 10 or 15 points left because for some reason I wasn't hungry that day and really want to have something good? Then what happens? I would love to have something available, but I'm thinking that my route with trigger foods now is going to have to be, at least in the sweets department, I do a little bit better with savory. Hummus is one of my savory trigger foods. If I'm not very meticulous about take it out of the package, I cannot sit down with the package of hummus and carrots or vegetables or something, because I can just sit there and eat the whole package of hummus. I love hummus. So like it's one of those things that's my savory one, or I guess I don't really have nearly as many savory ones. I am a sweet tooth through and through. Chocolate bars. I always have the intention of eating like 2 little squares at a time, and I don't. Never. It never works. Or even the individual ones, because you can just unwrap another one. It's so frustrating. So what do you guys do? Yes, this is what I want to talk about. I don't have like a legit lecture on it or everything, but I want to know how you guys approach trigger foods. What are your trigger foods, and how do you deal with your trigger foods and what happens emotionally or in your brain when you eat them? Do you go full on binge, or are you able to control yourself? And if you're able to control yourself, how do you do it? Although I guess technically if you're able to control yourself, that's not a trigger food. Because trigger is literally, it makes you pull the trigger. Yeah. So that's all. I'm just very curious, because every time I have a little instance of it, or I'm eating something sweet, I go, oh, I gotta talk about trigger foods, and I never sit down and do it. And because I have nothing else exciting happening today, I wanted to go ahead and talk about it. So please leave me your comments about trigger foods and your experiences and your advice, or your complaints, just like me, because basically that's all I'm doing is ranting about my behavior with certain foods. But I think my approach is going to have to be keep them out of the house. Get rid of them. And I've also been that person who I have, on more than one occasion, taken something that was causing me a problem and tossed it in the trash and like covered it with something to make sure I wouldn't go in there and get it. Because people do it. Have you ever seen that scene in Sex and the City where it's like Miranda versus the chocolate cake? Like, you need to put soap or something on top of that to ensure you don't go back and get it. So, and I've done that. I have covered something in salt, covered something in dish soap, just so I wouldn't go back, because I knew I would otherwise. So I've done that before, and that helps. But I don't want to be the food waster, you know? I don't want to be like, oh, I bought this whole thing, but now I have to get rid of it. No, because that's just not financially smart. That's just not. So, I don't know. let me know what you guys think about trigger foods, because I'd be curious to know how you deal with this situation. So on that note, I think I'm just gonna go, because like I said, there's nothing else happening tonight. So I will get this video all ready to go before I go to bed, so I can start tomorrow nice and productively, which would be ideal, since today was great, don't get me wrong, but I didn't get most of the things done at home that I planned on getting done, because I went and spent time with my grandparents instead, which is totally 100% time well spent. Don't get me wrong. I just now have some catching up to do, so I think I'll do that. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you had a wonderful start to your week. It was rainy for half the day and then beautifully glorious for the other half, so I can't really complain. Been low energy for the last couple of days, but I'm hoping that a good night's sleep tonight will help solve that problem. So thank you guys for watching. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!